Protesters filled the atrium at Trump Tower in New York on Thursday to denounce the arrest of Palestinian activist and U.S. resident Mahmoud Khalil. Demonstrators chanted, "Free Mahmoud Khalil," and unfurled banners that read, "Never again for anyone." 98 people were arrested. Khalil remains detained by immigration authorities over his involvement in last year's protests at Columbia University against the war in Gaza.
These are the actions of an authoritarian government.
The now former Columbia University student who last year was one of the leaders, or who helped lead some of the protests we saw happen on that campus. He's currently being held in an ICE detention facility in Louisiana. But as for the protesters here, they entered Trump Tower with jackets and coats on. A little less than 100 protesters were arrested in total for demonstrating inside Trump Tower in support of Mahmoud Khalil, the now former Columbia University student who last year was one of the leaders, or who helped lead some of the protests we saw happen on that campus. He's currently being held in an ICE detention facility in Louisiana. But as for the protesters here, they entered Trump Tower with jackets and coats on, as we understand from a law enforcement source, and then opened those jackets and coats up to reveal those red shirts. That's when the chanting began. Law enforcement showed up not too long after, asked them to leave, which some did, but then others did not, and many were then zip-tied with their hands behind their backs before they were put onto buses to then face what we understand to be some minor charges.
Your extraordinary outpouring of love and support in the wake of the horrific last Saturday event. Yet with substance, because we just found out and we just were able to get Ukraine to agree. So we're going to know very soon. I've gotten some positive messages, but a positive duration. Well, I've invited they've all accepted. Everybody I've invited has accepted.
President Xi as well?
Very good.
For peace, they describe themselves as a grassroots organization, but they do typically support many Palestinians.
We ourselves are Jewish, and we know what happens when a government, be it the Israeli government or our own government, when an authoritarian government starts scapegoating and targeting and making threats and or genocidal actions against people, we know where that leads. As Jews, we know our history, and we are here to say never again.
我告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然烹润。提亮肤色更年轻，抚平皱纹超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美一点。美吧。